Good evening. It's Pepper's Echo. You're watching the live echo. My name's Andre. Welcome to those in South Africa and welcome to those in Cambodia and everywhere over the world. For those who are watching live, thank you very, very much. For those who watch on the rerun, thank you very, very much as well. It's really, really good to be back with you guys again. Let me not forget to start off with, please like and subscribe. Yes, please like and subscribe. That's the only way that I seem to be able to get my info and words and that and streams out along the line is if you can like and subscribe for me, please. Before I carry on with the rest of my items, I used to show you, I showed you when the paparazzi were babies and when you got them first of all, and then I haven't shown you for about last 3 or 4 weeks. So I thought I would show you how my vicious guard dogs have grown exceptionally well. Remember these little, don't put your feet against me. Remember these? Look how they still are there. Jesse and Ozzy. And they've grown. They have grown, Dad. Yeah, Ozzy and Jesse. Yes, hello. They are doing major research and they do all the looking and the questioning. And yes, they love sitting with Dad at the computer. But we can't sit through that at a live stream because it's not going to work so well when we start getting edgy. But I thought I would just show you that they have done a phenomenal amount of growing. Yeah, almost double that. We are sitting at almost 1 kilogram each. Or I think Ozzy is at 1 kilogram. And Jesse is at 980 grams. Hello there, Linda. Hello from Linda. Always lovely to see you, Linda. Thank you so very much. Yes, I was looking at reruns the other day at these little beans that they were, and they're grown well. And not a day goes by that I'm sorry that I actually got these little chaps as well, because what did they say in Afrikaans? Dis my hartse punt. It is the point of my heart, the apple of my eye, as such. Right, let's get back to where I was. So, yes, what was I saying? Like and subscribe was the one. Yes, is the only way that I get it out here. What I do, Pepper's Echo, from the outside looking in, everything. Today I'm going to take a look at a Quora question, which is why didn't South Africa's change its name after apartheid? So why was the country's name not changed? And then I'm going to put in 2 movies that I watched this weekend. I'm not usually avidly watching movies, but I like to give you a bit of a review if I have. And I watched the new Suicide Squad, and I watched Black Widow. So I'll put the trailers on, and hopefully I don't get copyright smacked for them as such. And then we'll take a look at the ratings. So yeah, we're going to take a look at why South Africa changed its name or didn't change its name. And then, the Suicide Squad and Black Widow. If there's a little bit of time afterwards, I shall just run through the news or maybe a bit of tweet beat. I don't want to make this one a long one. I know I kept everyone busy and honed along last time for almost 2 hours going through video, and it was just something I feel passionate about. I see there's another one out where there's a lawyer and everyone and the whole toots, and I'll give you a little bit of feedback on my feedback on that one now as well. But bottom line is, Pepper's Echo, man in the street, the outside looking in. I don't think anything that you do is without consequence, so I cannot probably say that the stream is without consequence. I mean, what I hand out, I'm going to be happy to take some criticism in. I'm going to be happy to take the fact that people are going to disagree with me. And I sincerely hope that my sound is better this time around. I finished off last week's, and I was actually rewatching to just see how everything went. And I said, oh, it sounds like I'm in a toilet. And I went back and I looked at the setting. The setting was set to sound on my webcam and not on my microphone. And oh man, so 1,000 apologies for my sound last time. But yes, so I do question things. unfortunately, as I said, there are consequences, and you also need to make decisions on certain things, and you need to make a stand for certain things. So, I'm not prejudiced where I don't have to be, and I try not to be. I did a test the other day. Let me see. It's really, really pretty cool. The site 16 personalities. If you haven't done it yet, do try it. It's actually really, really cool. Let me add this quickly. It's a site called 16 personalities, 16personalities.com. It's really, really cool. You don't need to sign up or anything to that effect. Let me get there. Take the test, and free personality test, and I actually quite enjoyed it. There's no email, anything. In the end, if you wanted mailed to you or something like that, you can. But otherwise, you just go through. You regularly make new friends. Agree, disagree. You spend a lot of free time exploring various random topics that pique your interest. Yeah, somewhat. But anyway, you go through these. There's about 90 of them, and in the end, it actually gives you a very, very nice little. I haven't looked out the other things. There's different personalities: architect, logician, commander, debater, advocate, mediator, protagonist, campaigner, analysts, diplomats, sentinels, exporters. When I finished mine, I think I was a mediator. I think there is a premium one, but actually try this site, 16 personalities. It's a pretty exciting site. I actually got it from, was it Lana Gouveia? It's a lady who does her things for Microsoft. Really, really enjoyed it. What is it? Although you may seem quiet or unassuming, mediators have vibrant, passionate inner lives. I have a vibrant, passionate inner life. I do. Creative, imaginative. They happily lose themselves in daydreams, inventing all sorts of stories and conversations in their minds. These personalities are known for their sensitivity. I'm a very sensitive person. Mediators can have profound emotional responses to music, art, nature, and the people around them. Idealistic and empathetic mediators long for deep, soulful relationships, and they feel called to help others. But because this personality type makes up such a small portion of the population, mediators may sometimes feel lonely or invisible, adrift in the world that doesn't seem to appreciate the traits that make them. But it gives you a whole lot of different things into what you are. Really, really nice. I had a lot of fun with it. And as I said, you don't have to sign up. This is if you go into a premium. I think you get personal growth. You can actually get a thing that will help you work on your relationship, your personality and how you want to cope with it, etc., etc. So I don't. Where we go. Saw one with the lawyer, and I didn't think they a little anti-vax. Didn't think they. Yes. That's who I was getting back to. Sorry, I'm losing myself again. Yeah, thanks, Linda, for bringing me back onto track again. I've really got to stop that. I believe it's very bad in a stream. Yes, I did see the one with the lawyer. I just, you know what? I wasn't going to now do another reaction. I think I did a main reaction previously, and then they had this Nihasa guy, and then there was a lawyer as well. And my only thought is this, guys. I think by now you know I am for vaccination. Okay. I don't believe that it is some one world order. I do believe it is a serum that is brought out to protect us from a virus that is culling the world. And in saying so, I'd like to just take a few moments, because I've forgotten about right at the beginning of my friend, my colleague, my fellow streamer from the Motley Mix, Niels and Ilandi. Our thoughts and our prayers are with you. Talking on COVID, Niels lost his father at 3 o'clock this morning, Cambodia time, 10 o'clock last night, South African time. Our heartfelt sympathies. And again, give me 10 seconds. You can just give a moment's silence. Thanks. So yes, if those of you wanting to see a motley mix, we did not, out of respect for the family and friends, actually do a motley mix, and we were over with them there. But let's get back to anti-vaccine. So I'm into vaccine. I really do think in the long run, just you know what, I think you can only assess this as a discerning person, a person that uses their own discernment. Flip a coin. Don't wait for it to hit the ground, because when you look at it in the air, you already know what you're wanting, what you're wishing for. And you know, ask a if you ask anybody, you ask a knowledgeable person. What do they say in Afrikaans? A kenner, a specialist, or someone who's knowledgeable on something, or a specialist on something, or somebody who's written or researched, a researcher, or intelligence. You can find anything that you want. This day and age of access to information, you'll find anything you want. So you can look on the internet, you can speak to people, you can read books, and you will find people for and against, both ways. Intelligent people, researched people, specialized people. I had a doctor telling me I'd die within 2 years. And then I have another one going, are you mad? Not you. It's actually quite a nice doctor. I'll follow him on Facebook, and I will maybe bring him up next time, because I don't want to actually make this whole series about a COVID thing again. But I just wanted to say, when you start bringing up a lawyer and the law says this and the law says that, you know that lawyers defend murderers knowingly. It's just what you want. If you go to a lawyer and you say, you know, I want to be free, okay, I can get you free. Let's fight for it. I want to be there. Then what am I going to do? I want to fight for it. There we go. So thanks, Linda. I think Nielsen and them are watching. Neil says, sorry for your loss. And there's another one. Did you see Canada is going to require a vaccine for all forms of transport? Yes, I did not see that, but I can see that coming. Yes, I had people from South Africa. I was listening to a radio station. I'd listened to it. It starts at 6 in the morning. I listened at 11 o'clock. Yeah. And South Africans were even saying, you know what? We want to get to see shows. We want to get to see movies. We want to get to see sports events. Now, with still having proper distancing, wearing masks, making sanitization, do online bookings, and have a vaccine card. If you're vaccinated, you can go and watch a booking. You can go watch a show. If you're vaccinated, you can go and watch a rugby match or a sporting event. If you're vaccinated, you can pre-book a movie and go watch a movie. Obviously, as I said, with the correct distancing, still using the thing. This wasn't my words. This was the words of South Africans saying, you know what, we're tired of people not wanting to step up to be team players. Here I've got one from Yuki. I'm absolutely terrified that the vaccine passport and top-up vaccine is going to lead to mass depopulation and the deliberate execution of billions of people. And that was Dr. Michael Edam, former Pfizer VP. Top-up vaccination is going to lead to mass depopulation and the deliberate execution of billions of people. I think that's the one thing that says, the one thing that says vaccination is going to wipe us out. I don't think we get wiped out by the vaccination. And I just don't know if the vaccination is going to last as long as what they'd like it to, especially with it being new. And once again, I didn't want to go too much into this because I'm wasting my whole half an hour on this one, and I don't want to sound like a dead record on vaccinations, but I am for vaccination. But yes, there are people. I'm not too sure which doctor. That's a doctor from. Let me bring that up if you don't mind. Your logic is unsound. There's mathematical certainty in building bridges, fueling helicopters, and stacking cans of lima beans. I'm not too sure what you mean by that. My logic is unsound. There's mathematical certainty in building bridges, fueling helicopters, and stacking cans of lima beans. I'm not too sure what that is. I need to bring up the first one again. I'm absolutely terrified that the vaccine passports and top-up vaccines is going to lead to mass depopulation, depopulation, and the deliberate execution of billions of people. I think it could lead to deliberate exclusion, possibly, because you're going to find a certain exclusion of a rift between vaccinated and non-vaccinated, which we don't want. I don't believe for a moment that it's going to lead to the death of people. It has probably led to more safety of people going on ahead. Billions of people have taken it. It's not something that is intended. I think too many people have taken it to actually look and say, hey, and if you, I don't know, I'd have to go and research figures and things like that, which I don't want, because in my own words, as I was saying, that there are so many people that you can find what you look for on the internet. You've got another one, Yoko Yukio, who says that 1.8 billion people are infected with TB. Yes. An airborne transmissible respiratory disease. 10 million ill, and 1.5 million died in 2019. Yet we don't wear masks for TB. Yeah, I think may have a bit of a troll. Yeah, we don't wear masks for TB, and that's exactly what I said last time as well. We don't wear masks for flu either. That's why flu is down at the moment, because of the fact that we don't take the precautions, and now all of a sudden we are taking the precautions. Yes, I think we have a troll. Okay, but yes, let me go back. I will take a look further on as we go. I want you to get onto the Quora. Quick one, a little bit of an interesting spot there. Why didn't South Africa, and this is just something I picked up through the week, and I thought, oh, well, you know what? I will shoot this over with a bit of, what's in it? Thank you, Linda. Cleared that one up for me very quickly. TB is a bacteria, not a virus. Oh, what would I do without you? Thank you so much. Yeah, and I'm trying not to, because I'm so, I don't want to say passionate, but I feel so strongly about it that I'm trying not to have someone tune in on my Sunday show on Pepper's Echo and go, oh, yeah, he goes, the vaxxer again. He's going to talk vaccination. And I do try and remind people that it's just, yeah. But let's shoot over. So why didn't South Africa change its name after apartheid? I was actually quite, you know what? This is something. And so why didn't South Africa change its name? Everything has been changing. We've had streets changing. We've had cities changing. We've had airports changing. We've had so much, buildings changing, all changing names. And well, why not the country? Why, with the uptake of the government, has the country's name not been changed? Apart from the fact that my personal feeling is that it would have cost billions and millions of rand, and the rest of the world, I don't know how well they would have felt about it, but yeah, I suppose it can be done, because it has been done. I know in Cambodia was the Kingdom of Cambodia, then it was something else, and then it came back to the Kingdom of Cambodia again. But in South Africa, so the premise of this question, as per my understanding, is the name South Africa is a vestige of the apartheid regime. This is what they're sort of wanting to say again. You know what? This is a vestige of the apartheid regime is completely wrong. South Africa doesn't come from the apartheid regime. The name South Africa was devised in 1910 when the 4 separate colonies of the United Kingdom joined together to form the Union of South Africa. So, yeah, we were a colony of the UK. A British colony in South Africa, and we had 4 separate colonies. The names of South Africa, where was I now? Sorry, I'm reading my chat at the same time. The names of South Africa was devised 1910 in the 4 separate colonies the United Kingdom joined together. The name South Africa was, however, used in a different context pre-1910. Check the edits. So we'll take a look at the edits further on down. However, the 4 colonies and their capitals are in brackets. So the Cape of Good Hope, which we used to have pre 94, pre-democracy, Cape of Good Hope, and we had Cape Town. Then we had Transvaal over here, the whole of the Transvaal, and that was Pretoria. The Orange Free State in the center, and that was Bloemfontein and Natal. And funnily enough, to my being, Durban was never Natal's capital. It was always been Pietermaritzburg. I don't know, from when I was a small kid going to Durban, I always wondered why that wasn't, because that's the most popular, but Pietermaritzburg. So when the union was formed, the name South Africa was coined after the geographical location of the former colonies. So I think that's in 1910. So it was formed in the geographical location of the former colonies in the south of the continent, Africa. This is where the name South Africa came from. This neutral name was chosen so as not to give a preference to any practical ex-colony. Plus, the British love names with cardinal directions. This neutrality was also partially kept while choosing the capital city of the new union. So instead of having one, the union had and still has 3 capitals. Cape Town, which was the legislative, Pretoria, the executive, and Bloemfontein, the judiciary. My apologies. Natal, being then the least influential province, was given financial compensation to relinquish its claim for a capital city. Keep in mind that this was in 1910. Apartheid regime was instituted many years later in the 1950s. So 1910, South Africa actually got its name with the 4 colonies under the British colonization, which was then placed because of the placement. So during the apartheid years, the Afrikaner, which was in the late 1950s, the Afrikaner government of South Africa made the country a republic in 1961. And then, on the contrary, the country came to be known as the Republic of South Africa. That's where the RSA came in. Transformation to a republic was indeed a long-standing wish of the Afrikaners, who had in the 19th century founded the Boer republics, but lost them to the British Crown after the two Boer Wars. So if apartheid has to be blamed for the country becoming a republic, then should South Africa today be returned to pre-apartheid situation of being a constitutional monarchy? So yes, this is what they're saying, with Queen Elizabeth II as the head of state, or should it completely break up into the 4 former colonies with their own original names? That's actually a really good question. So if you want, and if you say like South Africa is an apartheid name and you need to break it up to pre-apartheid and you want South Africa as it was before apartheid, then yes, it would have to either become a British colony with Queen Elizabeth II as the head of state, or it would have to go to the former colonies with their own original names. And I don't think anyone in South Africa wants that, not to mention the immense financial burden any name change will cost the country if this occurs. And then again, change it to what? Azania, as I've heard before. South Africa, an English name that was coined by the British that had nothing to do with apartheid, even though the name came to be associated with a colonial history. No one in South Africa today associates the English language with colonialism or apartheid. English is seen as the language of development and opportunities, the language that connects all the groups of people regardless of their skin color. Plus, all the other 10 official languages of South Africa call the country more or less equivalent, the same in their own vernacular, which they all refer to South Africa as South Africa. Thus, the name South Africa stayed and stays as the name for the Rainbow Nation that we all know today. Just to edit, was 4 colonies, 1910, formation of a unitary state, choice of a neutral name was South Africa. Union of South Africa was from 1910 to 1961, and from 1961 to present has been the Republic of South Africa with 3 capitals. Remember, the Natal was taken out, so I'm actually quite interesting. We have 3 capitals: Cape Town, Bloemfontein, and Cape Town, Bloemfontein, and Pretoria. So if we look at our first editors pointed out by the Toy van Schalkwyk, and I forgot to write about it. The former name of the Transvaal colony was the Zuid-Afrikaanse Republiek, or translated to English as South African Republic. In 1900, during the Second Boer War, the British changed the name of ZAR to Transvaal to get rid of the Dutch words and influence in the region. So the Transvaal was previously known as Zuid-Afrikaanse Republic by the Boers, but changed to Transvaal by the British. But we can still say the name for the later union in 1910. South Africa was a neutral name, as that was the most logical name for the country. The concept of Zuid-Afrika could then already exist in Dutch. Then it must also have coexisted in English and other language. But before 1910, South Africa, Zuid-Afrika, might have referred to the complete region of the present-day Southern Africa, similar to Northwest, West, East Africa, and not the present-day country. And lastly, as confirmed by Henry Berger, with reference to the book The Great Boer War from 1901, the word South Africa was allegedly used in the UK before 1910, but back then it referred to the whole region and not the country. Okay, so basically, guys, what we're looking at is the fact of the matter that South Africa was not called South Africa in the, well, it was called South Africa during the apartheid times, but it was not referred to South Africa by the apartheid regime, or it wasn't created as an apartheid name. South Africa was actually named South Africa by the British a long, long time ago, in the 1900s, just referring to the vicinity. And then in 1910, with the 4 colonies, the British colonies, it became South Africa, the Union of South Africa. 1961 became the Republic of South Africa. And yeah, in 1910 as well, it had the 4 colonies with the 4, was the Cape, Transvaal, Orange Free State, and Natal. And they had their heads, which was Cape Town, Bloemfontein, Pretoria, and Pietermaritzburg. And Natal was bought out or monetized, and the 3 legislatives were put together, the heads of South Africa. Cape Town was the legislative, Bloemfontein was the judiciary, and Transvaal, Pretoria was the executive. And so that's how it came up. And yeah, in 1961, we became a republic. Now, yeah, in 1994, after that, then they decided, no, we want to cut the cake a little bit more. And we have the country strung into what is now at the moment. I think it was from 4 to 9. And yeah, but the country's name still stays. And if you want the country to go to before apartheid, and I enjoyed this part very much, we were going like, okay, we've got to do this, we've got to do that. Okay, let's take it to before apartheid. Hello, Britain. We are now one of your little, oh, you know, I've forgotten the names or whatever. It is a British colony, and we fall under British rule, which we did, which I know the EFF and that also fight against. Oh, no, colonization. Whenever I see Juju, he is as dressed in a colonial suit as ever. He's got the colonial watches. He's got the colonial cards. He's got the colonial threads. He's got the colonial look. So, you know what? The only president that actually didn't dress colonially was Nelson Mandela, Madiba, who actually dressed a little bit more traditionally. He had what was fondly become to be known as the Madiba shirt. He wore his Madiba shirts. He was the one who actually dressed more culturally. If you take a look at these bananas that shout, we don't want colonialism, they dress as colonial as they come. Let's take a look through, yeah, said things. I'm going to go back again to the beginning before I do my movies quickly. Yuki said things can go both ways on all things. Of course, they can go both ways. You've just got to actually use your discernment as a human being and not start with media and main media and everything to that effect, because they can push you. So what did you go? The goal of the elite is to diminish our population on Earth. Dr. Rani Kildi, Retief, Chief Medical Officer, Finland. Yes, so many people have said so. I don't believe that they would do it in such a way. I think wars and that are do enough to tarnish the earth itself. And I've got Linda says, your facts on Dr. Kilda is incorrect and totally false. I will try and take a little bit of look up on that during, thanks for looking at that, Linda. I will take a look at, see if I can do a little bit of looking up this week and bring a few answers back next week. I just, you know what, and that's why I say I'm not talking books and I'm not talking internet and research, because yes, you said that things can go both ways on all things. I did say so, and that's why I said you can find answers on them both ways. You can find people requesting world domination, and you can find people wanting saying that it's not so and that it is a world savior. It is up to you as a human being to actually use discernment. And you know what? Maybe you're not always right, but I think I make a fair decision as a human being for my life and going forward and looking at what has happened. And and just losing people left, right, and center isn't working for me. Okay, movie shopping. So there we go. South Africa has always been South Africa, and that's why the name hasn't changed from a 1910, which was the Union of South Africa as a British colony, up to 1961, where it became the Republic of South Africa. And only in the 1950s did South Africa actually bring in, the late 1950s, bring in the apartheid law. So that means South Africa was never South Africa, named South Africa during apartheid time. So South Africa actually has nothing to do with our name South Africa. So I don't know. I know there has been talk of, we want to change to Azania, and I don't know, Ugapo land or whatever these bananas have. They've got too much money to throw around, honestly, because I think the poor people could have used it more. But yes, let's pull in a little bit something I got to see this weekend. I'm going to run through two. If you are watching this and suddenly there's no sound, it's because I got a copyright strike. Linda, I'm glad they didn't waste money on Chinese. I would have been pretty upset because I think South Africa just rings a beautiful name for a beautiful country. I was talking about it. I went to see Niels today as well, and we were just talking about South Africa. It is, to my mind, the most beautiful country in the world still. I know there's lovely things all over the world, and there's your Grand Canyon, your Great Wall of China, there's Angkor Wat, there's Ayers Rock, and I've been watching traveling. South Africa is hands down the most beautiful country in the world. It really is, and I don't think it would be South Africa if it changed any name at all. That is, South Africa is South Africa. You can't take that away from it. And yes, money, please, these people don't think of it. But let's go to the movies. So I got to watching two movies. And if you're watching and suddenly there's no sound to this, it's because obviously there's been a copyright strike and they pulled the sound off it. My channel isn't monetized, so maybe not. But yeah, I'm not really watching movies too much because I'd like to be able to go to the cinema. But suddenly this weekend, I watched just on Saturday morning, The Suicide Squad, and I watched Black Widow. Divan came around and said, let's watch something. I said, I've seen Suicide Squad and we wanted to watch, some NPC man, Freeman or something like that. It wasn't out yet, so we watched Black Widow. I'll give you a bit of a rundown on both, but let's take a look. Here is the Suicide Squad's trailer. See a little good look at that. I quite enjoyed it.
Robert Dubois. He's in prison for putting Superman in the ICU with a kryptonite bullet.
I'm not joining your Suicide Squad.
We'll see.
My court date is coming up, and Miss Waller said maybe you could help me out.
What's it in your door?
Everyone stand down.
Miss Waller, I don't...
Stand down!
I wouldn't take such extreme measures if this mission went more important than you could possibly imagine. Are you in or out? Good. Let's meet your team.
It's okay, I'm not okay.
Each member is chosen for his or her own completely unique set of abilities.
I need to feel the raindrops on my head, on my
down number 2.
Good to know.
Is this thing a dog?
A dog? What kind of dog do you think it is, mate?
I'm gonna go with Afghan Hound.
Oh my god, is it a werewolf?
Yo, they turned me into a werewolf? Yo, let me out!
Hey, he's not a werewolf, okay? He's a weasel. He's harmless. I mean, he's not harmless. He's killed 27 children, but, you know.
Your mission is to destroy every trace of something known only as Project Starfish. Any questions?
Starfish? This is slang term for a butthole. Think there's any connection?
No.
No. All right. Let's get it. This is suicide.
Well, that's kind of our thing.
I'm a superhero!
Where's my dad?
I'm gonna get you out of real life.
I'm going to get you out of here alone.
Ratatouille, what do you got?
Bird.
Now it. Stay off the comm.
Okay, so that is, well, let me get me back up. That is the Suicide Squad. Yes, it was nice. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't fall over chairs to get to it. I find John Cena in it, which was nice. I like John Cena. I just think he would do better in a full action movie. And although this had action in it, I think the fact that Harley Quinn was in it was actually what made it and actually kept it together. Without it, I don't know if it would have been as good. I struggle to find a happy medium in comedies. I'm not a very much of a comedy person. So the quips and that now and again were good, but where I think it would have a lot of people rolling off their seats, I was like having a chuckle, but thinking, you know what, we could do without this, get on with the job. I liked the action scene. It was good photo, or should I say camera work, etc., etc. Dare I say I expected more from a supernatural movie. I think it's when you try and twist action into comedy that makes me. I mean, there's one part where the guy says to old John Cena, at least I don't have a toilet seat in my head. And you know what? I looked at it and I thought to myself, that looks like a flippin' toilet seat as well. You're just making a mockery of this guy as far as what he's going. Whereas I would have tried to have them not look so stupid. Overall, should I go and watch it? Yes, go watch it. It's nice entertainment. It's a good story. I wouldn't say good story. It's a no-brainer. But it's a little bit of fun, good chuckles, especially if you like some sharp ones, a little bit of comics around there, some good quips, etc., etc. Not a bad one. What we've got here is Rotten Tomatoes. We've had the tomato meter with the reviews at 91%. And as you can see, the audience here is a little bit lower at 83%, but that's still very high and very good. Critics' consensus say that enlivened by writer-director James Gunn's singularly skewed vision, The Suicide Squad marks a funny, fast-paced rebound that plays the source material's violent, anarchic strengths. Yeah, it is quite violent. Fast-paced, I don't know if it was as fast as what I want, but yeah, I can't really say it was slow. I think the funny part is where I actually fall off the bus and is a lot better for a lot of people. The audience says the story isn't amazing. Okay, yeah, so that's why I said no-brainer. But the over-the-top action and sometimes literally side-splitting gags make the Suicide Squad a major improvement. Okay, so there we go. Audience love the gags and that in there. And yeah, there's a lot of them. There are a lot of them. Let's quickly zap on to number 2 is Black Widow.
I tell people my sister moved out west. You're a science teacher. Your husband, he renovates houses. You're thinking about moving, but you're gonna wait until the interest rates go down.
That's not my story. Before I was an Avenger, I made mistakes. And a lot of enemies.
He's called Science Taskmaster. He controls the Red Room. They're manipulative, fully conscious, but no choices.
I should have come back for you. How many others are there?
Enough.
We have to go back to where it all started. So they never do that to anyone again.
We're family. We fight with you.
You won't win.
I've always found it best not to look into the past.
Okay, you got a plan, or shall I just stay duck and cover?
My plan was to drive us away.
Well, your plan sucks.
At some point, we all have to choose between what the world wants you to be and who you are. I made my choice. I'm done running. Here's what's gonna happen.
Natasha, don't slouch.
I'm not slouching.
You're going to get the back hunch.
Listen to your mother.
Oh my God, this.
Up.
All right, enough. All of you.
I didn't say anything. That's not fair.
Okay. Let me get back here. I'm on the wrong one. Black Widow. What did I think? I thought Black Widow was better than Suicide Squad. It was an Origins movie, so it was where it came in. Oh, not a Marvel fan. I love these things, but I'll try and find better ones for you when I watch again. I'll bring it in for my reviews. I promise. Well, give me one to review, and I'll review it for you. Or tell me about what you liked, and I'll take a look at it as well. But Black Widow was nice. I looked at the... It's more of a Origins which came from. It was really nicely action-packed as far as I was concerned. And I've sometimes found that the Origin movie, I enjoyed the Joker Origin movie, but it was just very low-key for me. It never sort of like lifted, and I know it's supposed to be more of a dramatic. Whereas I found that Black Widow, where I probably expected less, gave me a little bit more. And I think low expectations bring out a little bit more in you. With a little bit more action, it gave me the sort of, there's a TV program that I watched called, or I did watch a series called Orphan Black, which is really, really good. But going to the back to the start with her sister and her parents and everything, and going through it did keep you sort of constantly, it did keep me engaged. And you can see that it didn't seem to have more of the dramatics that the reviewers wanted. Because if we go on to taking a look at Rotten Tomatoes, the reviewers, the tomato meter gave it 80%, and the audience gave it a 91%. Whereas if you look at the Suicide Squad, the reviewers gave it a 91%, but the audience gave it a lower mark. So if you look at Black Widow again, the audience enjoyed it a little bit more than the reviewers. So once again, it seems the audience spoke. Well, Linda, if he is a science fiction fan, then I need to get him on the show, and I need to get him reviewing videos for us as well, and movies, and writing up, and maybe even coming to chat about us on the show. Because as you can see on that side, there's my Spider-Man, my Batman, my Darth Vader, All of these guys. I really enjoy it. It's a breakaway from reality for me. And I'm busy with Final Fantasy at the moment. But anyway, quickly back to finishing off here, which I promised I wasn't going to take long today. Black Widow, 91% of the audiences, 10,000 plus verified ratings. So 413 tomato meter ratings. That's from the reviewers. Critics' consensus, Black Widow's deeper themes are drowned out in all the action, but it remains a solidly entertaining standalone adventure that's rounded out by a stellar supporting cast. Yeah, because it comes out after she has been an Avenger, so it does mention that she's been an Avenger and that in the movie as such. It has a deeper theme, and that's why I know if you liked Wolverine Origins, you know what, everything, it's not dark, but it goes deeper and sort of more storied into the life. It does too, but yes, what I liked about Black Widow, it didn't fall flat into the story. It did come up, and there it says drowned out in the action. I believe that action actually kept us engaged a little bit. The audience, these are the guys at 91%, says Black Widow serves up another savory helping of the blockbuster Marvel formula with a family dynamic, adding extra character development in the midst of all the action. There we go. That's where a character came from. Development, midst of all the action. That's what you want from an origin movie, which is great. Ms. Linda, you'll ask him. Yes, he can join us sometime, and we can chat science fiction on the Echo. The Echo doesn't have to be political. It's a little bit of everything. And so, yeah, it would be nice to be able to switch around from just looking at a little bit of politics and then on the side, although I do sort of push it onto there. It can be anything and everything, and anyone who wants to chat about anything. And I can maybe get a friend or two. I know I have old Divan, if you've seen him on the Motley Mix before. He enjoys Naruto. And as I said, I am busy. I used to play World of Warcraft heavily. And as everyone knows, well, most people should know that Activision Blizzard has taken a massive lawsuit against them from the state of California for the harassment of ladies in the workplace and mistreatment and lack of promotion and treating and harassing women badly, and it's been quite bad. So a lot of people have taken against her. Apex Legends. We should get talking games sometimes. You see, you've got many interesting people in your family there. Yeah, and so Activision Blizzard has a bad lawsuit against them, as well as it took ages for World of Warcraft to bring out a patch 9.1, and then it wasn't that great, and the content hasn't been that great. So quite a lot of us, and if you've been looking in the gaming scenes, have fled over to not fled over, but gone over to Final Fantasy Online, Final Fantasy 14 Online, which is an amazing story. So I am busy on that. I'll tell you all about it sometime. I don't want to throw Pepper's Echo into a gaming site because I do have one called Ryzen Gaming, and I'll more likely discuss on there. Pepper's Echo I'd like to leave for a few interesting things and WhatsApp chats, etc. Quick WTF facts. Genghis Khan killed so many people. We're looking at just a end off with a few interesting facts. Genghis Khan killed so many people that the earth began to cool. 40 million people were wiped off the planet. Vast areas of farmland were reclaimed by the forest and carbon levels dropped significantly. Ancient fact. Egyptians wore gold sandals with toe caps to match. I'm sure if I had toe caps here in Cambodia, I would not be having these sunburned toes. 2007 Rockstar Games allowed fans to call a number and rant about what they thought was wrong with America. The best calls were featured on a radio station in Grand Theft Auto. And let us finish with the cutest and sweetest of the last. Sea otters hold hands while they sleep so that they don't drift apart, a behavior known as rafting. I think we'll end Pepper's Echo on that one. And may we always hold hands with our loved ones so that we never drift apart in life ever again. Especially in these times, guys, I would like to say once again, Linda, thank you very much for always being there, for watching, and for taking care of Pepper's Echo. I really hope that one day I can do something for you too. It's, you know what, it's such a privilege and honor to always see you on here. Thank you very, very much. Guys, don't forget, there's the other sites, Ronaldo Gous, Morning Shot with Roman Kabanak, Chris Wyatt, Joe Emilio, and don't forget Buzzy's Moments, also a lovely little site there as well. Thank you so very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you have anything interesting, would like to share it with us, or come on and just have a nice, relaxed chat. You don't even need software. I use a StreamYard, which means I send you a code. You log in on your browser, and there we go. You're chatting away. We can have a wonderful chat. I must maybe try calling things sometime. Pepper's Echo, PEPRSECHO @gmail.com. Thank you very much. I'll get one more. Yes, there we go. I agree. Keep loving our families. And that's what I wanted to end it on. So, yes, hold hands while you sleep so that you never drift apart. I make a point of saying good night to my wife, no matter how late I get in. Sometimes she goes to sleep early and I'm playing games until late. And I make a point of saying good night, poops, and I love you. It's the last thing she's got to hear from me before we go to sleep. But yeah, take care. All the best. Thank you so much for watching. Be good. And if you can't be good, at least be kind. Take care. Cheers.